Hey, PCBC, my name is Brian Weaver. Some call me Weave. I'm the rooted pastor there at Putnam City Baptist Church. And I just want to take a brief moment to bring you hopefully some encouragement during this time that there seems to be a lot of uncertainty. I just wanted to share a chapter in Psalm that has been just a huge encouragement in my life and something I've leaned on throughout this past week. It was one of my Granny Weaver's favorite passages, and it's something that my life has really been built on and something that I really try to take great comfort in. So let me read Psalm 23 to you and then I'll break it down a little bit. It says this: The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So, Psalm 23, very short, 6 verses, but there's three things that happen through this. In the first three verses, that's life before COVID-19 for a lot of us, where we were real confident in life. We had a lot of assurance. Our faith was pretty strong in God. It talks about we shall not want. It talks about those green pastures. It talks about he leads us beside still waters. He leads me in the paths of righteousness. That's when life seemed really good, when we were confident in a lot of things. Verse 4 takes a little turn, and it's just I want you to know it's just a brief turn, but it goes into an area of uncertainty, some unknown, some despair. And that's kind of what our life has seemed here in the last week or so. There's been a lot of unknowns. There's been a lot of despair, a lot of what if questions, a lot of what's next questions. It says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And that is right now for a lot of us, that's a valley. But in this valley, we're called to grow. We're called to grow. We're called to cling closer to God than we ever have before. And what's cool about it is we don't know how this ends, but God does. He's not surprised by what's going on. He's walking right beside us. He's not just looking at us from afar and expecting us to make it through this on our own. No, he's walking right beside us through this. And that is the type of love that God has for each and every one of us. So there it turns to some despair, but quickly it goes to some reassurance. It goes to how do we get out of this despair? And it goes quickly saying, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. It goes on in verse 6 to say, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. And it says, not next some of the days of our lives, but it says all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. What great reassurance that is for us, right, church? That once we get through this, and even as we're going through this, God is right beside us all the days of our life. All the time that we're going through this, God is walking right beside us. And at the end of all this, how cool is it that God's got us? How cool is it that our faith through this is hopefully growing stronger and stronger? And my prayer is this. My prayer is that yes, we cling to the truth that's in his word, right? But also that our light shines brighter than it ever has before. That people who are lost will see the way that we're living through this. Yes, there's going to be times where we're a little uncertain, but we know that God walks through us, walks with us each and every day of our life, and we can cling to that great truth. And my prayer is that God's kingdom grows, that the church rises during this time, and that God's light shines brighter than it ever has before from this day forward, all the days of our life. And remember, PCBC, as Sean says at the end of every service, God loves you, and we really mean this. So do we. Have a blessed day.